Hello everyone, this is Sarvakya along with Swenidu Sama and we welcome you all to this interview. Today we have Professor Prasanta Panigrahi as the director of the institute, IISER Kolkata. He's a well-celebrated quantum chemist in India and we'll be having a lot of question and answer session along with him. Sir, will you please like to share some of your childhood memories in Orissa?
Yeah, thank you. I was born in the year 1958, quite some time back. That was in a village 20 kilometers from a place called Kotak. Although it was 20 kilometers, you would be amazed to know that I never came to Kotak during my high school days. Only during the matriculation time when you have to take a photograph, I came to Kotak. But there was no need. Village life was simple, no radio, no TV. Whoever used to have a radio in the house, parents used to think that radio is distracting anymore. Television was unheard of, that is as usual everywhere. But I would say that the school days was quite fun in the sense that good amount of learning. Basics were very well taught. Particularly, for example, the teachers were quite good. And when I realized the worth of our school teaching when I went to USA, particularly during the time when I used to do PhD, periods of depression and brings the indiscipline. So how to bring discipline back? I used to remember my teacher in class 8. I like to remember him, Brahmar sir. He used to give us 5 mark questions every day. Before finishing the class, we work out 1 or 2 sums in a blackboard. Next day, when the class will start, notes will be exchanged, and one mistake, one slap. Meticulous, no anger or no emotions, and believe it or not, within 3 months' time, our math improved. Even now also, whenever I have, indiscipline in the form of leading to unhappiness, depression, I start with a small book called University of Chicago Problem Series and start solving problems. So, similarly, my science teacher, Gurcharan Vera, he used to fondly bring me, science reporter and many of small science magazines. And I still remember in a village, before going for this kabaddi game at 4 o'clock, he had got me this book called Vastu Prati Vastu, Matter After Matter. I still remember when I was reading it, it was by a very famous and well-read science writer in Odisha, Vikrama Mapatra. And I used to dream, is it really antimatter possible? Is it really there? And that sort of fired the imagination. Similarly, those days, the Voyager, Mariner was going to Mars. Voyager was now, for example, has gone beyond solar system. So science reporter used to report about it. So this concept of, extraterrestrial travel and, popular science books, that played a very key role in our upbringing. Particularly teachers bring those kind of books to schools. So we had a library, but library didn't have much facility, but teachers used to bring this kind of books. That was, a fond memory which took me, quite a long distance. Because first of all, as a child, you needed reading. So when one used to read about these books, how, for example, people had gone to USA, particularly, I fondly remember Jayaprakash Narayan, who was a beloved mass leader, how he went to USA and worked in the garden and then studied on his own. Those kind of things used to inspire us. But particularly, I would say, good teachers and fun atmosphere in the sense where the village sort of looks after you. You cannot go spoiled. If you are a person who they feel you do well as a student, everybody will look after you. And village, for example, had in my village, for example, I was with my grandfather and grandmother because my mother died when I was 5, and my brother and sister used to live with my uncle and aunt. My father was working in Calcutta, so I had quote unquote plenty of free time. The entire garden to myself and reading these books and playing around. Another fun thing I remember is that suddenly while doing gardening, you felt like making a tractor. So I put a lot of effort, 3 years of life, went into making a tractor. Finally, it did work out. And then I got it with my friends making it a rocket, because those times it is NASA's Voyager, Mariner, that Apollo going to moon, those kind of things are there in the market. We did make a rocket, which was rather easy because this bomb corporation buy, these people used to make crackers. But of course, it went and hit somebody's house. It caught fire. That is where my dream of doing experiment ended, I got into theory. And those days, these meal publications, college days for example, university and meal publications, ABC of quantum mechanics, power of that, they really, powered the dream of doing theory, and we went up in that way. For school days, I would remember for the quote unquote unpolluted air, unpolluted atmosphere, and good teachers, inspiring teachers, and somewhere or other getting connected with inspiring ideas like that extraterrestrial life, going to moon, going beyond Mars, sort of higher theory. That's what I can share with you. I think it has taken me properly working in science.
So, sir, since in those days radio was a source of distraction for you, but you had a good time with the nature, and teachers were much stricter but much closer to you, and in the same time, when you made a rocket and it hit someone else's house, and that point of time you stopped your experimenting. So keeping everything together, how do you point out how did you become a physicist? I mean, from the place you come, the way you did life in Odisha, and now you are where. So how did you become a physicist, and if more precisely a quantum scientist?
See, in college days, I would say we were not very disciplined, because school days one was very disciplined, and as you said, we used to think radio was a distraction, and all those things are distraction. So when you go to college, it's quote unquote time for free expansion. You go and explore the movie, right, or see a lot of the old movies, and a bit scared that somebody from a village is watching me, because people would say that I saw you in your movie house. But anyway, so it was but on this side, I remember we had a very beautiful physics book, university physics, which was by some American authors, Weber, Manning and White. That was for the first time introduced in Odisha, Weber, Manning and White. Lovely book, and there are these these figures of Nobel laureates in chapter 20 with their things and questions with answers. So those days, for example, when I looked at it, coming from village, I joined a little late in Levelsa College, which was the quote unquote the best college in Odisha. There are a lot of good students over there. So one was a bit scared. From every school, all the best students would be going there. So I got that we were Money and White, and then came to my village, and we had a double-storied house where the upper store was not complete. So I would have my breakfast, go and solve those problems. So I still remember, as some of those problems I asked my students, for example, how to balance the vectors, and if there are three vectors, how do you know that they need to be or not? So while solving, I could start with our problems with an answer, and then I could solve it. So then, after some time, I developed all the solutions. Then I found that I could actually have a feel for what is going on. I came to the college, and where electromagnetism was being taught, the teacher was asking about this electroscope. I could literally see why these things are collapsing, because electrons are moving here and they will repel each other when the electrons are released. So the teacher, after some time, he responded with teachers asking me all the questions and students asking me questions, my problems and solutions. But I sort of found that I have this ability to solve problems, and physics is giving me pleasure. That was probably built in because of the curiosity that I told you, our teachers bringing in these things. But but I would say there was a pitfall in what I was doing, because for example, I was neglecting my math courses, and probably because the class was big and the teacher was strict and math was scary, because nowadays also I see first year, second year students facing problems. So all I remember from my math class that the teachers, there was a big fan rotating on the head of my teacher, and teacher's head was silent, But it was math was really scary, because that's the reason I always feel for our students, first year, second year students. But math is a beautiful subject because teaches them properly. But on the other hand, my side-by-side reading of these media house publications like ABC of Quantum Mechanics and Power of that and many other books propelled me towards that. But my lacuna was that I was not very well trained in the mathematical apparatus to deal with it. So I knew the concepts. Then another thing that happened those days, there was something called science current examination, which I had appeared thanks to my senior who told me about the science current examination. Suddenly I got through the written test, I came to the other University for the interview. There, so the questions they asked sort of emphasized the need for understanding the basics with a bit of mathematics. So then, So this problem solving ability and the natural law for quantum mechanics partly scored by this, semi-popular books coming from these Russian new publications. Russian also extreme, and I really like the books even now also. So then, while MSc, you have friends circles, and to our good fortune, Institute of Physics was next door in Bhubaneswar, and our practical exams, the evaluators used to come from Institute of Physics, particularly Professor Prasanta, one very well-known physicist who came here, and those time we were doing BSc, and he was asking me questions, very distinguished looking scientist, and then subsequently they came, he and Professor Jugesh Pati, very well-known person in Patisala model of brand education, he also came, gave talks. So slowly our teachers used to go to Institute of Physics because this culture of Institute of Physics slowly propelled us towards the direction that they knew where can do research. So after MSc, we appeared in the test for the Institute of Physics, got selected there. So when I went there, I did not know how good I was, because our teachers were extremely good, because we had only problem solving, good to science, doing science. So one has to again get scared. I used to run to my village every weekend just to escape the rigor of Institute of Physics. But lo and behold, after the first semester, I found that I have done well and I have full passed. So at the end of the first year, I found that I have full passed. And then some of our seniors had gone abroad. The teacher whom I joined, Professor Vinas Khare, he encouraged me that they were out there, why don't you go and explore? So I still remember first time when I joined, I was sort of reading something and I slept up. So he came and tapped me. He said, you are not actually sleeping, you are thinking. So it was quite fun, and very young person, even now also when talk, he has come here many times. He actually encouraged me to apply abroad. So then, I applied, and those days, TOEFL, DRE was not that much required. The students from the Institute of Physics and other places in Odisha had gone and done well in City College. So I landed up with City College. City College was in New York, in the area of Harlem, which was a not so good neighborhood in terms of crime and other things. Teachers are extremely good. Professor Bundi Sakita, Professor Mishio Kaku, very, very well, good, very extremely good teachers. They were there, but I was not very comfortable. Because I came from Bhubaneswar, almost like a village. And landing up in New York, particularly in that neighborhood, I'm going to City College every day. Although it was a lot of freedom, liberty, you can see that you are a completely free person, but I was not very comfortable. After first semester, when I did well, a team was visiting from Rochester. They asked me how are you liking it. I told them I am liking it, but not quite because of this. Then they said, why don't you apply to Rochester? So I applied to Rochester, ended up there. Then it was America is a great country in terms of teaching. The idea that America is a fun-loving country, you get immediately corrected when you land there. Every week, only problems, and every week you have to solve problems and give a very meticulous teaching assistant who will evaluate. And you become a teaching assistant for the knowledgeable students, so where students will fight for half a mark. So the training was good. You teach the other people, they used to train us. If for example, going to become a teaching assistant, you will be trained. You have to look at the television this way, you have to tell students, you have to commit mistakes so that students will catch you. If you do everything, then the students will not be very much interested. You have to commit mistakes so that students stay alert, they will catch you. So America that way gave a great training, and primarily good teachers motivated toward the science, the curiosity, plus some amount of good literature in terms of those days we publishers, but nowadays others are available like Hainan lectures, Hopkins books, those kind of things. That takes you some kind of dream. But with the dream, your good training is also required. That I realized when I was doing my PhD. I saw Russians, Europeans, and serious Americans. They are extremely well trained in mathematics. You want for interested. So that India, for example, I would say even now also, except maybe few institutions or the people who are on their own, the regard that what we need to propel us to the best, scientists in the world is still much more needed.
So when we're talking about PhD, what do you think? How much passion do we require for PhD? Because if someone sees the finances, so we can say that corporate world has more to offer with respect to the science world. So how to attract the youth to do towards science?
See, particularly I can tell you, I am telling you with the most honesty. Now science PhDs have enormous opportunity. I can, for example, let me talk about my subject physics, then you guys can infer about yours also. In physics, you can use the physics techniques for analysis of data, showing new ideas, new ways of looking at it. Statistical mechanics, Newton's laws are the ones which govern the real world. So even if somebody wants to go for a job, all this AI, machine learning, all those things, for example, has a physics input, and a physicist can always do better than it. My friends who are from physics background, I see them in the Reserve Bank, very high level positions, bank also, because this physics training is very well prepared. Let me come to mathematics. Mathematics in some sense is actually the quote unquote the backbone behind it. Professor Ramurthy, our colleague, Professor Panigrahi Madam's supervisor, I met him a few days back. He came here in 2012. He showed us how Google page making algorithm, page ranking algorithm works. The very well-known theorem of Markov, which is behind this thing. This time when I met him, so I reminded him of Ramurthy, you may not remember. Then suddenly remembered, yes, I had gone there because when Panigrahi was there, and he gave a talk on how, he said, if you invite me, I can give a talk right now on ChatGPT, how ChatGPT works, mathematics behind ChatGPT. I said, certainly we are going to invite you, and on for Zoom, you will probably give an institute follow maybe on the online, how ChatGPT works. Because all these beautiful algorithms which are working nowadays, for example, natural language processing, on which your ChatGPT works, right? How so quickly pieces of information. Very simple, deep mathematics of last 100 years I made. So, I always have love and respect for mathematicians. They say the theory for the next 100 years is already discovered in terms of mathematics, what is already existing. Have good friends in mathematics if you want to move forward. Now, similarly, for example, if you see the biology, always a perplexing area of research. And biology can truly benefit with input from physics, chemistry, physics equipment, chemistry and biology, and we can truly in India make an outstanding contribution if we invest in biology with the techniques of India. For example, I have friends in USA who are now current faculty. When they come here, I ask them, what is an actinic? They say, you see, you also have good equipment, but the equipment should be functional. Most of our colleagues spend a lot of time in making the equipment functional. This goes wrong, that goes wrong, and the administration or the science, the DST and other organizations, they should look at it very simple. In USA, for example, if some laser goes wrong, there is a routine secretarial call which comes, helps, laser is fixed. Those are not the kind of things which the researchers should develop. But that early entry level problem is still existing. Many of our major equipment, I am not talking about isotopes alone, are non-functional because the people who need to function, namely the physicists, well-trained ones, we don't appoint them with the equipment. When you buy an equipment, you should definitely appoint somebody who can operate it. Then you can ask how chemistry is benefiting. Chemistry, for example, in Harvard and many other places. Because chemistry equipment is useless, like XRT and other things. Those trained individuals are already there. Because physicists have been using the X-ray diffraction technique for ages. There are many well-trained people. But biology, the apparatus biology nowadays uses are extremely sophisticated apparatus. Those needs very sophisticated people to handle it. So many of our colleagues all over India are really hampered by that. Now you see China. Why overnight China has taken up? All the major good quality equipment they buy. And they train and employ a lot of good quality people. And similarly they have a program where good Chinese faculty from abroad come there for 3 months or 4 months, collaborate with them. Students go abroad. So that synergy exists. You can't do science in isolation. You have to see modern equipment. If you don't listen to some good person's talk, within 15 days the field changes. So the exposure to the outside world, making equipment functional. Science needs the equipment and experiment. Theory is not completely science. Theory is the backbone. The theory, pure theory is mathematics. But pure theory like mathematics is the language in which the modern algorithms work. All the quantum computational algorithms have deep mathematics behind it. So if you ask me, ask science for example, environment, very neat. And there is enormous opportunity for employability, enormous opportunity. Okay, so I would say that there is no reason to feel any apprehension about doing PhD in any branch of science, and just do it what you like. See which area you would like to do, in which country you would like to do, and which subject you like, or with whom you like. That will completely your choice. So when some students come here, like this guy Nicholas we called just now, so after 1.5 years we had 2-3 publications, then he said, sir, I want to get like this. So then he applied, and I gave a strong record, in Hong Kong, going good experiment, after his experiment. So this kind of thing, never ever feel that, you are not liking something and doing it. Similarly, this, just see this Nobel laureates, many people who have gotten Nobel Prizes, they shifted from physics to biology. So similarly, make a career choice. See after some time, what training you have, that will help you unravel mystery in some other place. So change your career. Classic example is Watson and Crick. Crick was 35, Watson was 23. A person who believes there is something beyond 40. Crick was an old man who was not doing very well in his thesis, but believed that his ability in physics and mathematics can help somewhere. And together they cracked the genetic code. So, it's a great time to do science, I would say that. Great time to do science.
So, sir, since you are from quantum computing background, so my next question is, this question is from some of our batch, from the student community only, that what and when we will get the quantum computing in market? The research we are doing in labs, the sophistication that we are doing in theoretical physics, the high class science that we just discuss about, if we have to we need to take it to the mass also, right? Because after all, we are somewhat of the answerable to the people. So this quantum computing, can we take them to the people? If yes, by when? And will that be, even if we take it to the people, will it be affordable enough?
It's a very good question, because just an hour back, Prime Minister Modi announced National Quantum Computing Mission with I think 6,300 crores just now. Just came out in the newspaper, just now. So, country putting a lot of money into this thing. It's a very right question to ask. That where are we in terms of quantum? Is it really going to benefit the masses? Because ours is a poor country. Every 5 should be counted. So let me be very honest with you. There are functional quantum computers available in the market. Right now, for example, here, IBM is giving free access to you and to my students here to do quantum computation, which we have been doing for the last 5 years. They are noisy quantum computers, but quantum computers nevertheless free access. Since 2016 or 17, many of our papers, starting from realization of a quantum check, have been checked in quantum computers. And second thing is, in the use of quantum computers, if you see there is a, there are two groups who classify and standardize research in every country. The well-trained quantum personnel, you will be surprised to know, the highest number is from India.
Highest?
Number is from India.
Wow, that's a matter of pride for us.
It's a great matter of pride. It is not any Indian distinction. There are two forums. One is this, I can give you in more details. So, in all of European Union is a bit more than us. But as a country, we are the highest number. You may ask how. That is because, it's somewhat like this, Y2K problem. In Y2K, it was 1999 to be replaced by 2000. Okay, and that kind of trained unemployed personnel was available in India because India had a huge crisis in terms of availability of jobs. If you remember, there was some other kind of pollution there. So Indians also were inclined naturally to go for jobs, and particularly holding on the computer was fun. But the job was replaced in 1999 by 2000. That's all.
So you mean to say the urge to go for a different job other than a traditional was because there was a crisis?
There was a crisis. Okay. So they got in Indo, and it was the basic language, because you have to really go down to the basic level. And people were earlier doing Fortran, which were more advanced language. So then Indians got it. And in India, our training is very interesting. For example, you see here, do you think you will learn from teachers more? You will learn from each other more. I have seen in my lab here.
As others more, you mean
in a senior is training the junior, junior is training the next junior.
But that is not a formal teaching, right?
That is the great way of teaching. Because I tell you, I honestly spend very little time with my students here. I have some 8 or 10 of them. But after some time, I learn from them. Because they talk to each other, they are there in the seminar, okay, and I learn from them. Very nice. We are a group of people. Somebody sending one article, this fellow is sending another. Every day I got to get updated by them. That is how Indians are wrong. You talk to in USA, great leaders. I suddenly discovered that my class failed. He is the chief technological officer of Ericsson in USA. Then he asked me, how come, then he said, he also gave the same example. One thing led to another, one thing led to another. And they belong on their own. So in India, for example, computation by and large started like that. You see the groves of Indians in USA now doing very well in computation. And in our colleges, you see, everybody complains. Our teaching is very poor. Then why from this workforce came? The workforce came because there are some motivated people. Students got together. For example, here in Isopakata, in physics department, I have to, whatever teachers teach. But there are people who discuss with each other, solve problems, which leads to great progress. Same thing in quantum computation. Because quantum computation right now is in a stage where anybody who has little knowledge of matrices, vectors can contribute.
You mean to say little knowledge means school level?
School level. And I will give you an example. Just check the paper of Vinit Bhaskara. I have a student.
Vinit Bhaskara.
He is right now in Toronto and has a job in this quantum computing company called Gyanadu. And there are many of them. All you need is a bit of knowledge about matrices and natural inquisitiveness about these things. Because you will be surprised to know, beyond two particles, what you people call helium, these two electrons of helium, beyond those two particles, nothing much is known in terms of expression understanding of three particles in quantum. So that is the reason all these young people come, within few days, they beat you. For example, I have seen there is a boy Abdul Kalam, you can go and see in the lab, landed up here, Central University, Punjab. I was a bit curious because his name was Abdul Kalam, he is from Odisha. So then, you believe it or not, just check there. They submitted today a paper to Digital US. He is now a great expert in using Google quantum computer, IBM quantum computer, all those things right here, sitting here. Now, you may ask where this computer is coming? Because these private companies like US in Canada, Google, and particularly IBM, they train in their own language lots of word processors so that they become popular. Tomorrow, they have a trained manpower who will be using their computer and they showcase the results, whatever research they get. So they have an interest, and you will be surprised to know that IBM conducts almost every year workshops in India. You know where they start from? Most of them started from Isopakata. And their spokesperson was RTC, whatever his name, Rahul Pratap Singh, who is now in California.
Rahul Pratap Singh is our just immediate senior now.
And he was a spokesperson. And he was the person who was sitting on the stage and introducing quantum computation. And this European head of IBM and others, they used to give those stuff. And it used to start from Isopakata.
But sir, since you are telling that...
Can I just finish this thing? So, quantum computer is a reality. D-Wave is routinely selling quantum computers. Huge number, you can check D-Waves to NASA, and all your questions about is D-Wave is a quantum computer. Now it has improved, it's a quantum computer. And Google, IBM are quantum computers. And IBM, for example, announced last week that they have a 99.9% fault tolerant 256 qubit quantum computer which will be out in the market very soon. And similarly, this some of the European companies, they have come up with also chips, 4-qubit chips. So everybody has a sort of program, but particularly in quantum communication, China is doing absolutely well, and they are out in the market selling products also. But a real quantum computer, there are 3 or 4 varieties, and for example, Alan Aspect, Nobel Prize winner, he has started his own company. So right now in the market, there is 20-qubit reliable ion quantum computer available from Europe. Started Switzerland as a company. D-Wave quantum computer, very powerful reliable quantum computer, has been brought by NASA and CIA, available in the market. And Google's thing has not come to the market yet, but if you show sufficient interest, they will give you free time. And unfortunately, our ministry is waiting. They give you time in terms of dollars. So we apply, we get time in terms of dollars. You can buy, you can do from Amazon. Varieties of 4-5 quantum computers available. In India, we have a long way to go when it comes to hardware. Hardware is really building things. So this program, which Honorable Prime Minister announced today, will go a long way. So you have gone in a way where you sort of deliver targeted results in terms of hardware. So there are now dedicated centers coming up in IISc, IISc Pune, IIT one Bombay, then Madras also, and hopefully some other places also, because today can announce a lot of material and dedicated agencies like ISRO, which is also doing it for communication. ISRO has two places like PRL, RTC with SAT, they are coming up with centers which is spread all over the world. Satellite communication for overseas in Africa, right? So, but still hardware we have a long way to go in terms of real quantum chip or a real quantum computer. That we have a long way to go. But it's not the picture in the world. There are things available now, but of course it has a long way to go. See, for example, the other day, the first quantum WhatsApp was opened by the Minister of Information and Railway, and he pointed out now there is a quantum communication device implemented between two buildings in Delhi. So you can check it out. That they will give some award of some lakhs of rupees if anybody can hack that communication. If any ethical hacker can hack it, they have announced that they will give you some financial reward. Just check it out. If you send me an email, I can give you more details because that is available. You see, few years back it was unheard of. Now there is a quantum communicator. You are actually communicating through quantum. And I was the first division head in TRL, which is the laboratory of quantum computation and quantum information. That is where there was first quantum computation being started in India. And if you see Prof. from that group, now is the main person who was developed this quantum communication device, which is two buildings, which space application center is going to take in a mission to the satellite, and hopefully that will be used for communication from satellite to the outpost. So those are the dreams at one point. But now the way technology is moving, I am pretty sure very quickly those dreams will be realized.
So for the PhD and the pursuit of science and the career, so there has been a hurdle. People are walking towards something which they don't know about. It's like they are walking in herds to just do the nitty and get it done. So how can one be think out of the box and not look for the validation from others?
Yeah, that is a very, very deep question. Because PhD is a period where you sort of have to sometimes start questioning, many things. That am I really, doing the right thing? So eventually, some people do course correction, for example, and doing relevant things. Say, for example, when I was a faculty in Hyderabad University, after some time you realize, are you really doing something which excites you or just doing things to write papers? Then you slowly find out, basically attend talks, listen to good people. Then you find a director. For example, I found, although I'm a theoretical physicist, I can do better in quantum computation. Slowly shifted towards quantum computation. And then found that it's exciting. That indeed there are difficult questions there, which is exciting to answer. Similarly, I was hardly knew much about so-called nonlinear dynamics. So then again, listening to people and finding that the area is interesting and I can do it by hand, slowly found out that yes, you can do something. For example, here we wrote a paper on supersolid, which Mitchell is talking about. Now that paper, for example, was the first analytical result on the course on supersolid, which is state of matter visualized in 50s, not seen till now, only recently in 4 labs people have seen it. Like you are superfluid, superconductor, there was a question, can they be solid which is super? They can put super solid. First analytical also came right here from 2021D, when Mitchell and me, we have and there was this girl, Gargi, who was working out things during this COVID lockdown. Nothing else to do, play around by hand. So, a lot of things we can do, and the course correction is something which people do. Everybody is in pursuit of intellectual pursuit, like music, like culture, art. Your this course correction one has to do, and eventually start questioning yourself that what am I doing? Am I really doing it for my own pleasure and the thing which internally satisfies me? So that is a journey which will continue. And in place like this, you have lot of very eminent teachers. You get lot of good visitors. You find out you will have synergy with somebody. Like for example, when Professor Michael Berry came, I had a lot of synergy with him because he was also from a village, quote unquote village in England. His thinking is like this. He gets curiosity by looking at this stars, skies, shadow of the moon. See, when I told him that I had gone to the Ganga one day and we saw a solitaire, he said, what? I said, I saw this water coming and bunch of water getting reflected. So immediately saw it. And it was called BAH, B-A-H-L. Indeed, there is a reverse solution called BAH, which was very well known. Because we had gone there, two students those days holiday, there was nothing much to do. So we went, myself and somebody else, we had gone there. And then suddenly somebody told that water is rising, please come out of the water. Then we saw suddenly chunk of water coming, getting reflected near this vast area and going back and forth. So then later on we dug out. So it is not tight. So it is called reverse solution. Reverse mode called solution. So Michael Berry was so curious, he wanted to go and see this solution. So it is full moon, no moon day. Around 2:20 in the daytime, you go around 2 o'clock, you see that solution. How it goes in the day. And understanding of that solution, how it forms, a deep subject which has been going on later on I discovered, thanks to the stuff in cultivation. Things the kind of Lagrange, Hamilton, and you go for example in China, rivers, you see this. Some of the rivers very ideal for this kind of solutions. And Ganga is one of them, just like that, once very ideal. Just like that, no moon, full moon day, around 2 o'clock in the daytime, you see that river solution. So there this person, for example, is natural curiosity. So I do find a lot of synergy with people from this kind of natural curiosity. So similarly, you will find synergy with somebody, you follow them, everybody has a role model. For example, our role model is one person Prof. Girish over there, coming from, a quote unquote Allahabad, and going to USA, when he just asked him that you have to take this course again, he said, why? I have solved all the problems. So then they checked and he has solved all the problems. So for example, very well known optics person with whom we worked, Dr. Wood. So Wood said, used to say, oh, I don't know, Girish would know this, you ask Girish. So when I, for example, in Rochester, I was the second floor, third floor was optics. So sometimes optics seminars we used to go and attend. Then I saw one American giving a talk. There was this Indian, short Indian, sitting there and asking questions in a very Indian accent. Then this other person, he said, well, I don't know, what is typical American accent. Professor Joe Everly, very well known optics person. Then he corrected this man, like William, what Professor Girish Agarwal is asking is this. Do you have an answer to that? So then immediately this person woke up. He said, no, Professor Agarwal, what you said is this. Then I realized, then I dug out this person's history, Professor Girish Agarwal. Right now, of course, he's in University of Texas. So you have your role models. Eventually you'll find out, sometimes you see your teachers, or sometimes without seeing also, like Vivekananda, for example, Tolstoy. I'm like honest Hemingway. When I go read the book of Old Man and the Sea, they become a role model. And for example, other things like there are many things like whatever book which was by this Brazilian author, Alchemist. Alchemist is another book which my student gave me. I really loved and enjoyed this. You do find those are the kind of things which will inspire you all through your life. There is a greater dream and a greater reality to life than what you think, and it brings out generally what happens. Why do you feel unhappy and depressed? Because you try to confine yourself within yourself. There is not bigger world outside. You are actually a part of nature. All you need to get up and you see the from nature that you are a part of a bigger nature. You have much more things to do. You will feel depressed, go to get number 7, try to help some kids there. You will find a very neat life. So those are kind of things which will connect you with a bigger world. And you are always a part of a bigger world. That I have seen many of these great people, that what makes them forward. And you will truly find your own inspiration, which they call Guru.
So the same like, do you believe in God, and what's your take on it?
See, honestly speaking, when you look at, for example, when you see the images of the universe, it's so fascinating. And if that's where we used to, what is this concept of distance? And what scale? And so philosophers and spiritualists and scientists, after some time, almost all of them think identity.
Boils down to same point.
Same point. Almost not identity. And you see the debate between Einstein and Rabindranath Tagore. Same debate, almost same level. Because after some time you are just mystified. And you know very well that you won't have ever those answers.
So it's like we are being awed at the diversity of this universe, the magnificence of the universe, and
fine-tuning of the universe.
And
It's way too fit.
You
and understanding that it's not my capability or our capability to do it.
And we just can't imagine the kind of distance kind of distance and the kind of creation, and out of that comes out, this thing called human being who thinks about it. Like, for example, if you see, the Rigveda finally had this kind of stanzas that I am made out of water and made out of this, and I am thinking about it. Hyman himself had a expression of something like that. It's not that, it is the same kind of history, same kind of curiosity surrounds everybody. And you know very well that you won't have the answer, right? You won't have the answer. And it's so profound, particularly this James Webb my telescope, the kind of images it sends back from NASA, and mind-boggling, the kind of structures you see, and the explosion, for example, looks like a good picture, but you imagine the distance. I mean, all these things are, just babbling, too babbling. Similarly, at a given level, as a cell, for example, just you can contextually say, we think that everything is normal, but if you look from microscope how the cell works, how the human being works, we think so many animals living here inside, right? Starting from got bacteria, got genome, to the virus and everything living on. Some of them are good for us, some of them are bad for us. I realize, for example, vitamin D. Vitamin D synthesis is because of the bio. If got vitamin not there, no vitamin D.
So it's more like that in the micro level also there's so much complexity, in the macro level also we have so much complexity, but in between life is so simple, it's flowing on.
That's right. In some sense, very simple. You do your exercise, you eat properly, and then the normal life, and don't be bad to others. Like, for example, so-called Buddha's middle way. Go by middle way, and everything is normal. But people like Buddha or Vivekananda, for example, see, they are very profound thinkers. The basic aspects of life. Like, for example, Buddha speaking about the middle way. If you look at very pragmatic kind of approach. There is nothing this, nothing that. So, of course, he must have been a very deep thinker, like Vivekananda, for example. A spiritual mind with a deep scientific inquiry, and all these things are so vague. So, these are the kind of questions which will finally boil down to philosophers, scientists, mathematicians pursue it the same way. They call it, what that monstrous moon sign. There's a group, for example. They name it monstrous moon sign. The structure and the beauty of that is such that the name is given, monstrous moon sign. Mathematicians have their own way of having their awe of nature. So, I think this will continue. It's not going to end with any, one.
So, sir, in this opportunity, I am taking this opportunity to ask you, sir, failures are the pillars of success, right? And as humans, we all do mistakes. So, as you, either a physicist or a director of ISAT Kolkata, you must have done some mistake in your life. And do you regret that? And how do you think you go back to those mistakes and whatever you think, how it has shaped the whole thing?
No, you are absolutely right. Mistakes are something which you do, and that really, if you can do your path correction, and often it leads to better things in life. For example, in some sense, after some time, you do realize these are not exactly mistakes. They are more like path corrections. For example, I can tell you as an example. In a career, when I was in Hyderabad University, after 7-8 years, I was a lecturer. Then I suddenly realized, what am I doing here? That, I did my PhD from abroad, my wife is in Kanpur, and I am here, and my completely, but what am I doing here as a lecturer? Because I didn't have enough money. I used to borrow from Prof. Srinivasan to pay for my telephone bill, because every day I used to have to call my wife. So then once that frustration comes in, you start exploring for other opportunities. So there was an opportunity. Professor Girish Agarwal offered me to come to PRL. After 1 year and 2 years, made me the division head of quantum optics and quantum information. When I asked him, Professor Agarwal, quote unquote, this is a joke. And he's a very serious man. He said, what do you mean it's a joke? I said, you know very well that I am not a quantum optics person. He said, your thesis is quantum electrodynamics. Yes? I said, yes. Isn't quantum optics part of it? Yes. Quantum information. Nobody knows quantum information. That is the first division of quantum information. And it is nothing but quantum mechanics applied. And you can do it. That's how we started the journey. You can imagine that was 2005 in Ahmedabad KRI. And honestly speaking, hardly knew quantum optics. There was one boy, Manu Gupta, who came from JP Institute of Technology, like even now, we are in touch. So we started asking questions about a quantum computer. Quantum computer is based on something called an entire state. If somebody touches that quantum entangled state is gone. So Manu asks that, how do we know if the quantum code is working or not? If somebody can touch, it's gone. That is how we started our life. Fortunately, that small result led to a circuit called Panigrahi circuit to check a quantum computer without destroying it. And so Sunil Kumar from IISc, the grand old man of quantum computers, he has almost trained the whole manpower in India. He did the experiment, we have a paper on that, so that was verified. That it works. That's how we started our life. Even now also you see, this whole thing is so mysterious and so quickly it gets complicated. 3 particles, even now nobody understands the system very clearly. And the government is given only for 2 particles. You can imagine, and this quantum world is really mysterious. Like Feynman said, if anybody thinks he knows this quantum very well, he must be fooling himself. Actually, it is mysterious. We sometimes think we know understand the mathematics. But quantum has lots of problems which are beyond standard mathematics. So it's a mysterious world, and the amazing thing is that technology are coming out of that. So mistakes are there. For example, sometimes you think here, am I really made for administration? Because I have to spend my time with my students here. Because without that, I don't get proper some science to go on. So then you realize that yes, you have to do partly that, partly this, because if you don't do this, like our past director used to say, then somebody else will control your life. That either you will be in the administration or otherwise some fool will control your life. So so that way you are better off being part here, part there. But in places like ISER, for example, that is quite good. Good mixture of the student faculty, a reasonably open system where student faculty teachers interact with well. Say for example, when our previous director, Professor Saurabh came, so he saw some students sitting there on tablet. He liked it. He said that's good because there's not much of hierarchy. I said that is one thing here. So those kind of things are good, like openness, people approaching each other, good healthy debate. And like university you see, bicycles will come, 2-3 vehicles guarding them, taking them home. Right? Is that the kind of life one would like to live? No, more open atmosphere, talking to each other, learning from each other. So that atmosphere exists in ISER. If it looks too big, then that will go. If it stays moderately small, you will understand with reasonable amount of communication and some small problems which are there in there, we can all try together to tackle them. You stay as a healthy place. So, well, I would say, one thing is that if I would have learned good amount of mathematics in my college days, probably I could have done much better. That is one thing certainly I always regret, that those college days, I should have learned mathematics more.
Since you are an ISER, so what is the vision for ISER? What do you
ISER,
do? You see
as such, honestly speaking, ISER as a system are actually doing that. Because we have come to our middle age. What do I mean by middle age? Middle age, I mean that, we are having some 4 or 5 teaching problems. For example, small problems which one should solve it quickly. For example, otherwise, we get bogged down in problems which are not either academics or research. Somehow, we should come up with a method where the administration should take care of those problems, which are typical administrative problems. And whereas faculty and students should be primarily into research and education. Similarly, education, I would say, should be a bit more rigorous. For example, I do see these days, student community, for example, very quickly trying to go outside for project, very quickly trying to get fixed onto some area where they will have a safe way to go. That tendency should be somehow curbed. How do you curb it? There is no reason to curb it. Encourage it by more active projects. Why the students want to go to Germany? Because you see good research there. So you try to do good research, try to have collaboration. Now, government provides facilities where you can bring good people here, like in China. Develop a good collaboration. So everybody wants to explore good science. So we have to sort of stay competitive. Similarly, many of our equipments are not so ultra modern. So you have to continuously grow. You have to continuously grow. Continuously grow by interacting with good institutes abroad, visiting, getting their faculty to hear, getting to see them, online program provides you these things. So you need to continuously reinvent yourself. Otherwise what happens, you do come to your so-called middle age, which I do see right now Calcutta is here. We have a few teaching problems, which is bogging down the administration. Administration is primarily faculty. Because what happens is that, other part of the administration, they are not that way. they came from,
They
the
have a
places-
scientific background.
Yeah.
It requires different perspective. and
perspective,
training.
right. So that kind of thing needs to be corrected. Fortunately, our system is in a stage where it can be corrected. It can be corrected, but see, I have seen one thing in US which I really like is you don't see administration. Where is the administration office in Rochester? We never know. There was one lady, Betty Cook, who used to take care of all the things. Similarly, in our group, Judy Mack was the lady who used to take care of all our group problems. Two ladies used to tackle everything. We never knew where is the administration. City college. Sometimes you used to go to get your check from 42nd Street or Raja Center. They would say, why didn't you come here? You could have gone right away. Where in the administration, we never know. But here, you go to any Indian university, first building will be that of Vice Chancellor and Secretary. Here it went out, fortunately in ASC also, we deliberately kept library mathematics because it is not administration, it is a science institute. So, our administration has to be properly modeled so that they solve the institute and in terms of removing those teaching problems, science must be the primary thing, research and teaching. And getting connected with the world, staying connected. Both students and faculty, I would say, to that extent, we are actually in a very difficult place. We don't have much of a problem. There is a reasonably good atmosphere of doing science. Fortunately, in Bengal, you get a lot of people who visit Bengal from outside. We do get them as visitors. We do get exposed to them, what kind of things are going on outside. But quote unquote, that middle age, which an institute reaches weekly, which is the cause of institutes going down in India. You ask, many institutes doing very well. After Professor Prasanta used to say, after 25 years, many of these will go down. Why does it go down? Because it goes down because other teaching problems which are not primarily research or teaching, they become the focus point. That somehow has to be done. And here it is not only us, it is the ministry, it is the other people who should help. For example, there is something or other which opposes or something. But those points, for example, somewhere or other to be taken out, so that the scientist administrators should not get bogged down with those problems. That is one thing I do see where us plus the quote unquote ministry can sort of actively talk to each other, collaborate with each other. There are some input from the ministry. If those problems get solved, our focus will shift to more of science and medicine. For example, I would like to spend more time, at least an hour in library. Why should I be spending more time here in administration? And similarly, why do I have to check, for example, every question where I have to sign? Somebody else should do that, right? One or two people sign, then one should sign. No, but what happens here is finally the director has to see what all he is signing. Those are the kind of things, hopefully, some more synergy should be there. There are some institutions in India, for example, which have state like ISI is one example, which have produced remarkable people. TIFR, but TIFR I would say a bit more serious, but TIFR is not quote-unquote part of India. But IISc as a whole has done very well. They are quite, in terms of science education, science research, doing very well. A lot of things to learn from them, how they manage their administration. But, that is what I see, some amount of problem which, if not tackled properly, can lead to, decline.
So, sir, now one of our seniors has a little anger in his question. That is, I read his question directly. What is your take in mental and physical harassment in workplaces in academia, and why PhD students are forced to work in the labs till midnight? Do you think that's a typical work culture in India?
See, PhD students working in the up to midnight, it is actually, I think work also varies from place to place. I can tell you honestly. When I was doing my PhD in Rochester, there used to be some people who used to work at night. For example, I used to work at night. Our postdoctoral person with whom I used to work, Dr. W, who is now a professor in university, Dr. Rajiv, who is a professor in Rochester, they used to come and work in the night. So, working in the night, some theory people find it convenient to work in the night. Similarly, for example, when Professor Ketterly came here, when he got Nobel Prize, he came to Kottayam, in YT. So he was telling the life of his story. He said, I came from Giovanni, got into MIT, and I was given it to the lab. So you start playing around, and results come when it is only around 9 o'clock in the night. And then and then you keep working. At 1 o'clock you get some pictures, you are doing cosine and condensation. And then you realize that you have a class to teach at 9 o'clock. So you decide to stay back, finish the class and go to your home. It went on and he got of course Nobel Prize. He said after he got the Nobel Prize, his wife said that you have lived a good life, quote unquote, let's separate. You check it out. Apparently they were separated. I am not giving it as a proof, you can check it out. So you see, these scientists' lifestyle are always like this. Now, some people work with for fun, like Catholic, like we used to do. And sometimes you teach us pressure. I remember one summer, I was working on a project with Professor Bunji Sakita, very well known person. Because I used to come to City College because my wife was doing PhD.
Professor?
Bunji Sakita, S-A-K-I-T. My, quote unquote, a teacher whom every morning I remember. So he used to give us a calculus, myself and another person, was PhD. We were calculating. You won't believe, my son was 4 months old, my mother was there taking care of his son. My wife used to go to lab, and I used to work only 4 hours sleep in the night. The hardest work of my life. Then I went to, when we go there, Professor Sakita would come. So, what's the result? You look at it, was not very satisfied. Rosmi and me used to call each other, hey, did you get this, did you get that? And that was the hardest part of my life. 4 hours in the day. And then one day I did not work. I am telling you this in deliberately. Then when I went, the professor said, when is the result? By the way, I was not a student, I was not a professor. I took courses with him. We used to like each other. That's why he gave me the problem, I was working on it. Then he said, no, my son was being sent to India with my in-laws. I had gone to see him. Your personal problems are your personal problems. Don't tell me this thing. Your typical Japanese accent. And I know one of our senior postdoc, Professor Dimitra Paravoli, I don't know who was there. She said, very nice Greek lady. She said, what is this professor talking about? Doesn't he realize? Then of course everybody kept quiet. Then after a long time, after 10 years when I was a faculty in Hyderabad, Sakita came there for a month. Early morning I was going to see him up. I asked him, Professor, how am I doing science-wise? He looked at me. He said, do you remember I asked you this thing? And I was looking at your face. Your face did not change. Then he patted me. Yeah, you are a curious person, you are a dedicated person. Do your science. You see, people judge. That hard work sometimes saves your life. Now, is it a course, labor kind of hard work? Or is it a teacher testing you? You have to make a subtle judgment. See, every morning as I told you, I remember Professor Sakita. But the hardest part of my PhD postdoc, I was not a student, I was not a postdoc. It was done for only free. A good research paper came out of it. You can check with my wife. She was a teaching assistant to Sakita. She doesn't like Professor Sakita because Sakita was a very tough person. But I love Sakita, and he came to Hyderabad. When he came to Hyderabad, he asked, how is your wife? Once I banged her. He said, once I banged her. But you see, I honestly, every morning when I wake up, I fondly remember Professor Sakita. In his 70th birth, when he passed away, Professor Kaku, Vishwa Kaku, and Nobel laureate, they arranged a WhatsApp. And there, they asked only 4 people to write an obituary for him. And I was one of them. So these are the kind of things, you have to distinguish between a teacher training you and a course level. So that subtle difference you have to find out. So work culture is completely up to you, and you should feel that you are being exploited. So that subtle differentiation one has to. Sometimes there are people who use you for calculation which is not helpful. See, for example, there are many cases where it has led to a lot of unhappiness. When you do see that you don't get proper credit for your results and calculation. So particularly when it comes to upper seat, we have to be very careful. Whoever has done the job to do given proper credit. The science ethics. That's not the science ethics is a big thing. Morality ethics is much more required. So somebody feels that something unethical, be very bad. We have done experiments with monkeys. As long as you are very controlled experiment. If you are giving a favoritism to one monkey, not giving the other, that they don't like. If you are depriving experimentally, that experimentally if they feel that you are depriving them equally, no problem. If you are showing favoritism, there was an experiment reported a long time back, which I read in your time, that even monkeys don't like unethical behavior. So the same thing, if monkeys are not liking you, how about human beings? See, for example, if you remember, if a teacher shows favoritism, you don't like it. If a teacher uniformly harsh to everybody, well, he harsh. But if you show favoritism, then you don't like it. So I would say that very honestly, there is a very subtle boundary between quote-unquote hard work and forced labor. And so that is where the scientists comes in. Like, for example, I was hearing about Arvind Prasanta. The other day, Dr. Ganesh, who was retired from IIT, he was telling me what ethics of Arvind Prasanta. I mean, you should find out what ethics. How is a man, how out of curiosity, went on his own money, what would the government think? And I am actually asking Dr. Ganesh to send me a write-up about what ethics of Dr. Arvind Prasanta. I got a hard one came that apparently because completely dedicated to his lab. The moment he got World Prize, there was some private interview arranged for him by the university president. Same was Sibiram. When Nehru came to visit his lab, it was private lab, in his own money. And his consultant was doing the calculation. Nehru was a science person, so Nehru asked what he's doing. I said, don't disturb him, he's doing his science. So Nehru was going there to request him to take some money and do that. He said, no, I want to do it for my own money. Then later on, Nehru said, the education minister of Bengal. So he went there to his house. Raman's wife was making coffee, and with the same approach, that take some government money to do some good science, more better science for the country. So before his wife could bring the coffee, Raman has shut the door, and he put a note in of Raman Institute. Nobody can enter it without permission. And permission was only for students and school students, curious students, whom Raman used to take around, show them, for example, gardens, white, beautiful color. He was a person who was always fascinated with color. I have heard it from somebody from Bengal, one school student went there. And Raman saw him, invited him. On YouTube you will see videos where he explained his place, why this color is so beautiful. What any other person comes, no, you can't cross that line. So, so you the judge for yourself that what is, labor and what is truly dedication for science. If the person is hardworking, ethical, how will the program? So Samson Bhattacharya was the director of IIT, who was the post of that. You talk to him, you will find out the kind of work culture they have. Almost everybody he has trained with who in this DNA, RNA kind of thing are trained by the Bhattacharya. Not that you are critical to me. But essentially, him around.
Since you were talking about stars and this Professor Berry, we were talking about the telescope and all. So, if a person wants to pursue space science, what he or she should do? This is a 22 MS student who is very, very passionate about astronomy.
So I would say that it's a fascinating area to pursue. Fascinating area to pursue. So many mysteries. And fortunately here, for example, if you see our CC is there, Center for Solar Science. It is a wonderful one. Wonderful job in terms of, see, we should have more telescopes, bring kids from outside, show them the world. Anybody, for example, the other day, my wife was remembering when she saw a telescope, Jupiter in Delhi. And it was so fascinating. Saturn, Jupiter. We should, ourselves see, show it to the kids, attract more people, and some more winter, something, when you see those things little bigger in your own eye, that is something outstanding. And fortunately nowadays there are a lot of opportunities in India and abroad.
Even ISRO is doing extremely well.
Extremely well. And for example, for astrophotos we are lucky because our SESI is there. If people are good scientists, well connected, they can guide it very well. And there are many opportunities. Almost everywhere astrophysics is branch now. It has many aspects. Solar weather, sun, study of sun itself, study of extraterrestrial planets, life extraterrestrial, so many questions. Even the solar cosmology.
Space is unknown. Even the Earth is unknown, but the space is hardly know anything about it.
See, for example, when I was in USA, I saw one Indian, Anand Prasad, who was being invited to every presidential inauguration. So I was curious about who is Anand Prasad. USA inauguration is not easy. Then during COVID period, we rediscovered it because there was a news item in Detroit Times about eating zinc and getting cured from COVID. So then one thing led to another. So I convinced Mithilesh, who just called him, to our Himadri Prasad, to make a small YouTube video of Anand Prasad. Anand Prasad was a doctor from Bihar, and one late another went to USA, and he discovered gene. So there are some defect which arises if you don't take trace element. So earlier, human beings used to have food, then the requirement of vitamins, because people used to travel and see. So vitamin need was there, food supplement of. The trace element was the thing which was discovered by Anand Prasad. So after his discovery, one thing after gene, all the trace elements go in human the value system came. Federal Government Agency FDA approved trace element. So Anand Prasad recognized as the father of quote unquote bringing trace element to the food chain. That was the reason why he was invited. And our Prasad, Himani Prasad made a small movie. If you have a chance, you can see that movie. So then we sent it to him. 3 months no reply. Then his secretary wrote to us that Dr. Prasad actually had COVID. I went to his house today. When he saw this movie, he saw YouTube video, and that it was his own countryman from Bihar for making it. He was so happy. Then he talked to me. In Chicago last year, he was September 22nd. He was elevated to this Hall of Nutrition, which is like the Hall of Fame for nutrition. Invited, and he probably sold that small YouTube here. He passed away a few months back, Dr. Anand Prasad. So you see, for example, this kind of dedicated people living outside, and through science we are getting connected to them. There's one unique opportunity now in science.
Sir, since we are discussing about academics so much, one of my juniors has this question. Perhaps this is a very common question to all the teachers. How do you think? Do you even think that can arts or co-curricular activities and academics can be done simultaneously? If done, does one hampers other? And at very personal level, he thinks that you are very person. So, to say that, how do you think, very personal level, do you think this can be done, the academics and co-curricular activities together?
See, one thing for sure, that co-curricular activity in terms of playing, physical exercise, appreciating nature, observing nature is very much required to do good science. Because if you are not physically fit, you can't do good science. Because if your mind is somewhere else, if you are not physically fit, you cannot do good science. There are many other ways one discovers that this co-curricular activities like, whatever, yoga, physical exercise, is requiring one from the other. Now talking about arts, for example, I realized this thing, that in our DSC, we used to have this book, Golden and C, as extract in English paper. You score everything above 50, you get that. Otherwise, there is no problem. We are not feeling because of something. We all used to read the internet. When I read it, I could not believe that I have not read this book. Even now also, when I look at it, I thought, how did I miss it? So I go around and see, that saved my life. Saved my life. You know, for example, that old man after days of frustration goes on to catch a big fish. And when he catches the fish, he realizes that time he says, the fish is being eaten up, big fish by only skeleton there. So in some sense, when I went to Chicago, I found out the place where Hemingway was working, that Oak Park Company. I stayed there. So similarly, when when you read small books like Tolstoy, even now also, your values of life comes from small things about Tolstoy, Tolstoy, Tagore, for example, Vivekananda's sayings. Those are things which very guide you. So we, the local sayings, for example, that our colloquial sayings, they carry enormous number of things. One or two funny, very cryptic way, they carry truth. So if you don't remember them, for example, my grandfather used to tell some things, that which are very cryptic. They're all, every local language will have something. That, which if you don't remember, then you miss the essence of life. Similarly, if you can't get exposed to literature and things like great writers, what they write. For example, this Russian story writers, Chekhov, for example. When I read Chekhov, so fresh, only 4-5 pages, such reality of life. Then I used to ask that, how come I never read Chekhov? So that is very much required to exposure to poems, literature, and in fact, we science people do miss out on them. We should invite more of those kind of people, more of artists, more of, for example, going to this, this musicians when you listen to them. I mean, it's just quote unquote pure, music which elevates you such a state. With a synergy, you can move forward. All these things are required because for science people, is much more required.
I'd like to know, sir, what is your fondest memory till now?
Fondest memory. Yeah, honestly speaking, I am one person who, I don't either get very bored, and extremely fond memory is, my life has been incremental. You get lots of things, but as a scientific discovery, if you ask me, as a science, as a treasure in scientific discovery, I would say, for example, a few years back, I had one student from my school, PSM, we solved this question of sunlight's coherence on the origin of the coherence of sunlight. Sunlight has some coherence which was discovered by a French scientist long time back. So when I was in PRL, I saw this paper coming out in New York Times highlighted that the rules over and over pointed out that sunlight behavior is a bit funny, that coherence they could numerically show why it came. So after 10 or 11 years, keeping that in mind, asking anybody, why it is happening. So this boy Sriram Prasanta and myself, we found out a very simple mathematical trick can explain that coherence. When we send it to optic letters, essentially I can see it was good one of the referee and another person. So essentially saying that yes, it's solved. So that coherence of sunlight, which is a very natural object. The problem is that for 150 years not solved. A very simple mathematical trick or mathematical thing which is so natural. I don't know why people leave it out. I mean, the BSMS student who is now doing PhD in Canada. That was one of the great fun moments. Similarly, I used to ask anybody who used to be DRL, why this matrix is entire. So, for example, one boy called me at 3 o'clock, Amit, he was an engineering student, Amit Saxena. 3 o'clock at night, sir, I know the answer. I said, Amit, you open up at night, you better be correct. He was actually correct. So we did one day to another. This boy, Prasad, who came from IIT Guwahati as an English student. So I asked him this question that why do you keep one? So he pursued one thing further. Finally he had very good mathematics, some people were for us. And eventually use of an identity which he thought it was Lagrange. But one MIT mathematician for sure was, because he not due to Lagrange, it was due to Brahmagupta. So Brahmagupta Lagrange identity through a BSc student linked to a measurement time when things are very wrong. For example, we have found all the other measures. Our measure has some geometric origin, which is completely new, coming out from here. That is one of the, when you look back, that it's not like euphoric thing, but it gives a pleasure that some good amount of science will have done on the road.
So, sir, in that line, what do you think has been the best decision of your life?
Moving around from one place to another.
It gives a lot of experience.
Really moving around one place. And it sort of comes so naturally. When I was in PRL, after some time I was getting bored because PRL is a very limited place. And every time there will be some terrorist attack somewhere, the PRL boundary wall will go up by one. So just to escape that the sense of being not free, I used to walk around in the place called Atira. This was Atira, Advanced Textile Research Center, which was also founded by Vikram Sarabhai, Textile Research. They have these days to walk around. One day while I was walking here, I heard a beautiful talk going on in Ahmedabad Education Society about a new system called ISOS coming up. That looks sounds very good. So then I went and after walking around, went to our PRL guest house, flash up. Then I saw this tall man watching TV news and things like that. So I went and was watching it. He said, "You are from PRL?" I said, "Yes." He said, "I'm from the Prof." I said, "Hey." Then he said, "Hey, I offered you a job in Bose Institute as assistant professor. You didn't come." So then, why don't you come to here? Then we realized that we sort of knew each other because of somewhat never met. So then he told him about this ISA system, that these kind of things are coming up. You would like it, why don't you come? Then he came here, gave a talk, and then the first batch students who were there, like the Salinger and other students, were such lovely kids, asking good questions. The teachers went sitting together and asking questions, and they always question of inquiry. And immediately I came here. And since then I have never, I think that was the best positive step of my life, coming to ISA. Because my nature fits in there. In the sense of interdisciplinarity, in the sense of project-oriented learning. So here, whenever you are bored, you walk around, you find any 3rd year scholar student, or whatever, suddenly you get to know that he is doing something interesting, and he is doing it because he likes it. First year, 2nd year, I will walk with their own studies, but 3rd year onwards I have found, anybody you talk, you will find he is doing something or other. That is a great way of learning. The NEP, National Education Policy, which is essentially our way of learning. Interdisciplinarity and through project learning. So that is one great decision of my life, coming from PRL. Because when I go from PRL, many people say, it's a part of this role, a Oxford faculty here, you are division head of Office for Information, why are you going to a place where things are just believe? It's not all states, just believe. But in hindsight, I would say, I spent here now, 2007 December I came, around 16 years, and not a single day I have been.
So for you, that decision, now we are sitting with you, and that's a boon for us.
Honestly, I'm not saying it just because you asked me. As my amount of science, interdisciplinarity, and quality of thoughts that comes in. Right? Every day you find some book of it, right? You usually go to mathematics, physics, sometimes biology stuff, sometimes art science stuff. Quality of thoughts, extreme books. So that's a very place. Because the good faculty are there everywhere, coming from this part of the world. Whenever they come, many of them come here and visit us. So that's a very place. And a place which, for example, I found Prof, they don't have that. Pune has something like that. Pune also already. We are having good exposure.
So sir, I think you have been to PRL, which is a primary research institute. In your college days, you have been to institutes like Ravenshaw College, which is a very old institute with a heritage, but it's also typical institute that India has always seen since till days. You have been to ACE, so you have seen the Western institutes, and now you're currently for 16 years you're a professor at ISA, where it is much more interdisciplinary, much more open, but somewhat some has traditional systems like all the universities India has, the hierarchy and all. So at this juncture, how do you see the similarities and differences of all these institutes? I mean, the differences of institutes, and which would you prefer is very relevant? I mean, from your point of view, after being to all kinds of institutes throughout your life.
See, for example, I quote my teacher, Dr. Budi Sekundar. So you should tell that in Japan there's an old saying that if you can combine the weight of the old person with the sharpness of the young person, then you can win the world. What he means is that you can easily see, old person is probably a bit old, but he has knowledge, which is weight. Young person has the sharpness, but doesn't have the experience and the knowledge. So, somehow, in Japan, for example, you will see very good faculty. When they reach their prime, they slowly move to smaller universities, smaller colleges. Because they are no longer competitive as competitive as that, but yet the system are used for them. Russia has the same. For example, people move from one to another. And US also, for example, when Catholic was hired, Prasanta, who sort of gave the lab, never went to the lab, but they're around. They would tell them, there are things which you have tried, don't try. What are the big problems to be tackled? So this combination of effective use of old and young in India has not happened. I can tell you very honestly that when I went to PRL, we used to have these older people come. Professors used to sit like 8. So very quickly I found out that I learned a lot of things from them. For example, Professor Panigrahi, we had a very good effective collaboration. And his wife, Indira Parikh, you can check, is a very well-known lady. And when Professor Parikh, 1 hour before his death, I had talked to him. Indira Parikh used to allow me to talk to him because he used to get acceptable science. So the effective use of old and young. For example, here in the beginning we have Professor BM, a lovely man. Powerhouse in terms of knowledge and those things. He used to come here. He had enough time to talk to young people about science. He himself was a great scientist. So somehow we should make effective use of old and young. That has not happened. That has happened, I have seen in China. You see, for example, when this big group of China came to Ramanujan Institute, I was observing this man called Pan. You saw Times, for example, magazine says what Pan thinks today is the technology of tomorrow. So Pan was there, the group leader, Institute of Science and Technology, #1 institute in quantum communication, with a group of young people around him. And you see, so effective combination of old and youth together. India, it has not happened. India, for example, I do not know what is the basic problem, but somehow we have not learned to talk to each other and make effective use of each other.
There's some gap.
There is some gap.
We need to bridge.
That's right. We have to combine this traditional knowledge of effective use of old and young people. So, for example, young people are more into research. Okay, you do the research. Make these old people, which is, I'm not talking about the extreme old. People, come, let them, they have patience with younger people. They'll go to the blackboard, they'll explain things. The other day, for example, you see 102-year-old Sierra getting the greatest award in statistics in the US. Did his PhD from ISA Kolkata, 102. In America, he still goes to university, 102-year-old Sierra. C.R. Rao did his PhD from ISA Kolkata. Just few days back, he got the greatest statistics award from the USA. There is Rao theorem, CSR, Rao bound, whatnot. He is the top-notch statistician in the world. Okay, you can check that the Sierra Institute with Manmohan Singh, money fired out in the field.
Yeah, Professor Palo also mentioned.
Amazing person, 102-year-old man. And Professor Joe Evans, 87, 88, Professor, with younger people writing papers of an entanglement, the best measure of entanglement, just 87, 88. I heard about Professor Park, when they won chemistry Nobel Laureate, who are of 95, 95 were writing papers. So, you see, with Western countries, where they claim youth is the dominant one, if they can make effective use of old and young to comfort the world, why can't we?
So, sir, this will be the last question of the day. So, what is your take on the Indian science which is garnished with traditional values and spirituality at the same time?
Yeah, I would honestly, if you ask me, if you really ask in terms of world-class value system what we have created, Indian classical music, our spirituality in terms of yoga and something there, we can really offer, and we do offer to the world, this so-called top-notch knowledge. Anybody who, for example, looks at with an open mind, Gita or Thiruvalur, or for example, Vedanta, they get fascinated. I'll give you a story. That there was this person called Grassman who came up with some mathematics, simple mathematics of union integration, where the results would be determined. When he showed mathematics, his friend said, "Have you heard about a guy called Milton? He was 17 when he found it." And so Grassman was so fed up, he quit mathematics, learned Sanskrit, translated Rig Veda into German. And in Western people, they actually acquired a taste of Rig Veda and others slowly through these past classes. Later on, of course, they recognized that Grassman's discovery was independent and new. So those variables are called Grassman variables, which physics people use much later. So you see that, what was the original question? Why I did
So it was like Indian science, a mixture of tradition.
So Indian scientists have a lot to learn in terms of the culture of art, like music, the gharana. How are they able to maintain that gharana? Years after years. You see, for example, you see the TV. Why is it that these music programs are so popular? And what are they doing? They're teaching. That young people are getting trained in classical music. So their musicians, big fellows are coming there, teaching them, correcting them. So many good young kids from all parts of India are getting there. Why can't we do something like this science? That is why we are lucky. See, so therefore these two things, yoga and arts, are two things, music particularly, where we are world-class. We should learn from them. Science should learn from them. Try to evolve the same kind of rules type of culture in a modern setting. That nobody is telling that you go back to a tree and start with rules kind of thing. But do it in a modern system. Like, for example, if people from Western countries are coming to learn yoga, in Mysore and other places, so many places, and people are coming. And people like founders of Google, founders of Microsoft and others, they are coming and getting inspiration from Himalaya. Why can't our own science people really learn from those ways and go to that level? That going to that level really needs discipline. I have seen, for example, mathematics, if you are not well trained, you can't do cutting edge science. Cutting edge science requires this amount of discipline which is exactly equivalent to like doing yoga. So that discipline, that physical fitness is required. For example, Kolmogorov, a very famous man, you realize, he used to tell that I discovered this theorem when I was climbing this tree. I found this thing when I was climbing the mountain. He was so physically fit. So for example, many of the Western people, they go for climbing. So that kind of dedication, we have it. Like for example, our musicians, you look at the kind of discipline, the kind of practice. They do years after years. Same thing science people are doing. That only will make us work hard. I always take a lot of lessons from these people, the kind of thing they do, how they bring up their youngsters. So many talented young kids from all over India are being exposed through TV.
Yeah.
Right? So inspired. Why can't we do something like a science like that? NASA comes with hackathon. Right? They select scientists from our villages, they inspire our villages. That what was that movie where NASA's name comes up? Anytime NASA means there's a dream. Why can't we do the same thing here?
Sure enough. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
It was a privilege to have you here. With this, we conclude this interview. Thank you.
I truly enjoyed talking to you people.
Same here.
Sir.